All right, next up on the show is Leo Valdez, the owner of National Best Credit Solutions. Leo, welcome to the show. First-time guest.
Yes,
Awesome.
I'm excited. I like this.
So Millionaire Club for Credit Repair Cloud, what's that about?
So with systems, you got to have certain, well, you don't have to have certain systems, but it's easier to use a system for credit repair. And one of the biggest ones is Credit Repair Cloud. And they have what's called a Millionaires Club when you make your first $1 million in
Sales?
in sales and just being profitable. And we hit ours in 15 months from when I opened. So we're supposed to get this huge plaque, which they just told me it's on the back market, but whatever.
Go make one yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
Just get it up on the wall.
But now there's only about, I want to say, 80 people who have actually done it in the United States for this. So I think I'm like number 82 or something like that.
Well, when does the $2 million club come?
Yeah, we're on the way.
We're on the way. Just around the corner, Marc.
Yeah.
All right. Lowest cost for San Antonio for credit repair?
So we used to charge, when I very first started, I didn't know what to charge for credit repair. Whenever I started my company, I just wanted people to get to know us, and I charged like $30 a start, $40 a month. Like, it was real cheap. And then I started, realizing how much we were worth. And so I raised my prices up to where it should have been, which was $600 to start, $150 a month, a 1 to 6 month program. And that would get you, where you need to be, home closure, 100-point guarantee or full refund. We started doing so well, obviously, right? We hit the Millionaire Club. I was like, okay, now we can kind of take a step back and we don't need to charge as much as we do. And it's just making us more competitive for everybody else because they're charging about the same, $1,200 a person for credit repair. So I went ahead and dropped all my prices to just $100 to start, $100 a month for every client, no matter what.
So is pricing that important, or is it really because trust factor is going to be huge in the credit repair business, and if you've got good market share and you've built up trust and you're getting lots of referrals, it's almost seems like your price should go up, not down. But I mean, you're the one running, you're the one seeing the numbers, but I guess you found where you want to be.
Yeah, I've always said once I hit a certain number, I would drop my prices down.
Okay, cool.
And we're doing fine enough to where it's feasible for us to do.
We're doing a lot of volume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the market's tough right now, right? When it comes to interest rates are high.
Correct.
So does that make your business go up when it's more like it is
really
today?
doesn't have an effect on us because it's not just for people who are trying to buy a house, for instance. The only reason why somebody comes to us is 3 main reasons. 1, they get denied on a house, they get denied on a car, or they're going through a divorce.
Oh.
And so it's for everybody. I mean, 1 out of 10 people need credit repair.
Yeah. And 5 out of 10 people are going through divorce. So, I mean, that's what we hear, right? So give me somebody who's going through a divorce. Why are they coming to you?
Well, a lot of times they get payments split and the judge decrees, somebody has to take responsibility for one thing, which is true, right? Say it's a house or a car. The judge says, hey, the husband has to take care of this. The wife's not responsible for this. 100% true. She doesn't have to be responsible for it, but it's still going to be on her credit report because they were co-signers on there. The only way for it not to affect her is if he refinances or she refinances to get them off. So my job would be to try to get rid of an item like that. So like if it's a vehicle, for instance, and he just lets it go, my job would be to try to get rid of it like they never had it or she never had it.
Do you do a lot of referrals to attorneys then for stuff like that? It seems like you'd want an attorney to help get that off of there.
Not really. No, I haven't.
How would you get him? How would it get off of there?
So there's 311 laws. There's a lot of laws that protect you from the Fair Credit Acting Report, and it protects a consumer and it protects the credit bureaus, right? And so we usually go after them legally and ethically through one of those laws saying, hey, you're in violation of this because of X, Y, and Z. I need it removed off of my report.
Well, if a husband and wife are sharing a mortgage payment, right? Mm-hmm. The husband's having to make the payment, and the wife wants to get her name off of that thing. What would they do?
Well, if they're divorced, it should have been in the decree that he has to refinance. But
okay.
A lot of times it's not in the decree for it.
So what then?
So then she's technically not legally responsible for it, but credit responsible for it. So it's kind of like a little fine line, right? if he's making good payments on it, then
it's not a problem.
It's not a problem. It's whenever the late payments come in, the foreclosures come in, it becomes a problem.
Huh. Cool. All right. So what about on the car side? Somebody's looking to come in to get a car, they get denied. How do you help them get that car finance?
So it's so much easier to get approved for a vehicle than it is a house. So my job is to get them at least to a 620, so that way they can get approved. I mean, somebody will approve you with a 400, but you'll have a 20% interest rate. So we want to make sure that we get them good enough to where they can have at least a 4% interest rate. And getting them approved, I mean, I have partners all over, especially here in San Antonio, to help me get somebody approved for a vehicle.
So people who've got decent credit, right? Say they're in the 700s, 7 to 750 range. Should they still reach out? I mean, is there benefit to them reaching out to someone like you?
Yeah, I mean, there's always something that could be on the report that they're not aware of. Even if I just take a look at it, I read this like the Matrix. I take one look at your credit report and I'm like, this is what you could do better. So we even have what's called a lifetime program. Somebody who was in our program, say they reached their 700 mark or 800 mark, wherever they need to be. We have what's called a lifetime program where they only pay us $20 a month. And every month I actually check that one myself and make sure if there's anything else that needs to be done or what else they could do to help raise their scores a little higher.
Does it impact them negatively at all when you check their credit?
No, I go through a site called Identity IQ, who I partner with, and it has no effect on their credit whatsoever.
Okay. So what are some myths that people would think about, the credit repair world that you would like to dispel?
Well, there's a lot of them, but the biggest one is that I always say is a lot of people come to me and they're like, I have too many inquiries, that's why I'm being declined. And it's just not the case 98% of the time. I think I've only seen one person who had like 500 inquiries. And I was like, yeah, you are the reason. But never, like, that was only one time I've ever seen that. Whoa. It's never usually the case. The reason why somebody gets denied was for other reasons on the credit report, but when they give you a denial letter, that's the first thing that pops up, right? But so they think that's the biggest reason. Well, it's only worth 10% of your credit report, so it's just never the case.
Okay. What's another myth?
Another myth is one, like I said about the divorce. If they're responsible for it, I no longer have to pay on it. And it's like, well, no, you don't have to pay on it, but it's still going to affect you negatively. That's a big one. I mean, late payments, people think that having late payments won't affect you as much just because your score is going to go down 4 or 5 points. It affects you for 2 years. It's on your credit report. Well, it affects you for 1, but it's on your credit report for 2. So a lender could potentially deny you just because they saw that one late payment.
So when you guys are going to do credit repair for somebody, right, there's different types of things you guys can do, or is there like a flow that you do for everybody?
No, everybody's case is different.
Yeah.
Whether they have bankruptcy, student loans, medical charges, every case is different.
Okay, so what are some of the services that you guys do for folks when you get a new client in?
Yeah, so one thing that we do for every client is before we even get them to sign up, we pull the credit report and we see exactly what's wrong. We do a free credit consultation. So that way we know, okay, this is how we can help you. Once they're already in our system, we credit coach them on what else they need to do while they're with us. So we're not just sending off letters to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, where it's just generic and we're like, please remove this, and hopefully it falls off after a few times. Well, what we do is we also credit coach them so that way they know, hey, I can get another credit card or a secured card for $500 or $200 and only use $40 of it a month. And we tell them when to pay it, how much to use the credit utilization, how many installment accounts to have, how many revolving accounts to have. And we basically try to get them to get the most perfect score that they possibly can within the time frame that they're with us.
All right. And when it comes to like educating folks, what are some methods that you guys are using to educate your clients or prospective clients?
Yeah. So for all my current clients, I send out emails every Tuesday on, what else can be done. We do credit coaching. So we set up a time for them to come and talk to us over the phone, of course. And it's usually right after their round is out. So we educate them on what they need to do further in credit repair. And then we create videos. I create videos, or I have a team that helps me create videos. And we just share it out to the world for anyone who wants to, even people who don't need credit repair. I have people who are like in the 800s. They're like, I follow you all the time just to make sure I'm doing what I need to do right for my credit.
Well, maybe they need to make sure you're on retainer, right? And keep their credit clean.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense to me. That seems like a good fit. So the credit repair industry, I've heard that, I mean, I've never personally heard negative things, but I've talked to credit repair people because I think you're like the third or fourth one I've had on the show. And it's like, they'll say that there's kind of a negative vibe out there about credit. What is some of that? What's that about?
It is the worst reputation to be in credit repair. So it's kind of hard. But I think the reason why is because people blame you for something that they can't control. So for instance, we were talking about bad reviews earlier. I get a bad review for somebody saying, you said you were going to take something off and it didn't happen. And I was like, wait a minute. We didn't say we were going to take it off. We said we were going to attempt to get it removed. And they don't get the process. You know, that a credit repair person sends it to TransUnion, Experian, Equifax, but they are the ones who make the decision to get it removed. Sure. It's not us like going in there and just erasing things.
Does the client sign anything that they understand that this is the verbiage?
We have an agreement in place. Legally, it is illegal to put a client in a contract for credit repair. Right. So it's never a contract.
But like an understanding,
but
right?
We have an agreement that says, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. It's in black and white, and we don't have control over when or how things get removed. So a customer will always get mad and saying, you didn't do nothing for me. When it's like, no, we did our part. We just can't push TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax to do something on their end.
So where's your passion to do this business come from? What do you love about it?
Oh, I fell in love with credit repair 5 years ago when I first got in the business. This wasn't never my background. I was always in corporate America, worked for USAA and Nationwide and Spectrum. And it just kind of fell in my lap. I worked for another credit repair company for like 1 month, and I just realized this is it. Like, one, I love sales because I can sell anything. But credit repair, like, this is something that I needed myself. And I was like, man, this is something that if I can fix this for myself and create a better life for me, then why can't I do this for others?
Yeah, a lot of satisfaction comes in. And it's a challenge every single time.
Yeah.
You get a new client, it's like, okay, it's a new hill to climb.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's probably my biggest thing is whenever I get a customer who's in the 300-400s and then they get up to a 700 in a quick time frame, I love it.
Success story. All right, if folks want to get in touch with you, Leo, how do they do that?
They can reach me on Facebook at National Best Credit Solutions on Facebook, or online at www.nationalbestcreditsolutions.com, or call me at 210-812-5710.
All right. Thanks, Leo. I appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
All right, as we wrap up the show, a quick reminder, check out our latest podcast and catch video versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. That's going to be it for us for this one. Thanks, fellas. You all did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one.
All right.